So we all know there's a presidential election next year. We know Trump can't help himself. He's running. We know Nikki Haley's running. We don't know if Ron DeSantis is yet in the race. But we've also heard that Sleepy Joe Biden may run for re-election. He just can't seem to make up his mind, which I'm not surprised. He doesn't know what he's doing day to day. We all know this. But Dr. Jill seems to think, oh, he's ready. He's ready to announce, and he's ready to continue what he's been doing because he's not done yet.
Any reason for any of us to think that he is not running again? We've heard him say several times that it is his intention to run.
Are you not believing this, Darlene? I mean, how many times does he have to say it until you believe it? Well, he says he's not done. He's not finished what he started. And that's what's important. And I think, look at all that Joe has done, has accomplished. I mean, he brought us out of the chaos. And he did that. He was elected because people wanted steady leadership. And I think they saw that in Joe, and they saw his character.
So is all that's left at this point is just to figure out a time and place for the announcement?
Pretty much.
So apparently, Dr. Jill seems to believe that Joe's not done yet. He's not finished. He didn't finish what he started. And he's had so many accomplishments over his first 2 years that he just needs to continue. I haven't seen one accomplishment since this fool's been in the White House. We can start with the botched Afghan withdrawal, where he got Americans killed and left God knows how many Americans behind. We can start with him pushing COVID jabs so Big Pharma could make millions of dollars. He probably benefited too, along with his boy, Tony Fauci. We can talk about high inflation, record high inflation. We could talk about people losing jobs on the daily, big tech losing thousands of jobs very recently. And he'll say he's created over 12 million jobs, but we all know that's a lie. We know that's only because people went back to work after the lockdown of 2 years. Joe Biden is a failure. He's been a failure his entire political career, amongst being a criminal his entire political career. What he's doing now is trying to keep his kid out of prison and the rest of his crime family. And lately, we've had the horrific train wreck in Ohio where they just don't care. They want these poor souls to believe that everything is going to be fine. The federal government has been on the ground since day one. The residents don't see anybody. Every resident that's been interviewed, no one has seen a thing. They can't drink their water. Their pets are dying. Their air is making them sick. But according to the federal government, everything's okay. And Joe had an interview, and again, it's all lies, but this is what he had to say about the tragedy in Ohio.
Let's put this in perspective. Within 2 hours of that derailment, the EPA was in there. Within 2 hours. Every major agency in the United States government that had anything to do with rail and or cleanup was there and is there. In addition to that, I've spoken at length to the congresspersons, the governors, the senators from both states of Pennsylvania and in Ohio. And I've made it clear to them anything they need is available. We'll make it available to them. Whatever happens here, we got to understand it's the responsibility of the railroad company.
So do you plan to travel there, and have you talked with the mayor?
I can't recall whether I don't think I've talked to the mayor. I've talked to everyone else there, and multiple times.
And of course, he's saying this now because he knows Trump went there, which I don't know if that's good or bad. We all know Trump isn't my first pick, if you will, to be president again. But this guy is so full of shit, it's not even funny. He claims that the EPA was there within 2 hours of the train wreck, which is absurd. Local authorities were testing the air, not the EPA. He claims that every federal agency got involved with the crash, and the cleanup, which is another lie. We know that's not true. Local authorities were there doing that job. We know Mayor Pete, the DOT secretary, took 20 days to visit, and he went there and put on an orange vest and a hard hat with his jeans and his dress shoes to walk around the crash site. He's absolutely useless. And Joe almost forgot that he talked to all the officials, mayors, governors in Pennsylvania and Ohio. He almost forgot where it actually happened. But he's ready to run. He's healthy, he's vibrant, and he's got all his marbles, which we all know is an absolute lie. So I found a nice little montage, if you will, of some of Joe Biden's greatest flubs, and I'd like to share it with you now. So have a look.
Of the Holly River. Look, in Washoe County in Nevada, we're spending $89 billion to add several lanes.
There's been credibility that's really trying to compromise by your family's business relationships. Sir, Mr. President, there was
Give me a break, man.
Did you overreact?
You know, our natural wonders inspire, and the reflection inspires our to take action. You know, America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was in the foothills of the Himalayas. A solid meeting with they make a very good point. Here's the deal. Here's what drives the driver in the states that are affected. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
You know the deal. This man is not fit to be a greeter at Walmart. Never mind be the president of the United States. Every step of the way, he fumbles and he fails. That's if he's not falling off his bike or falling up the steps to Air Force One. But Jill is confident that he's going to run again because God forbid, Joey's not the president again, and Jill will be nothing, like she already is nothing. The great doctor. We all remember when Whoopi Goldberg said that Dr. Jill would be a great Surgeon General, but Biden probably wouldn't appoint her. Well, no, he wouldn't appoint her because she's not a doctor. She has a doctorate in English. She's an English professor. That's what kind of asshat Whoopi Goldberg is. But all these bleeding hearts, all the LGBs and the TQs, the purple hair and the pink hair, and everybody who wants everything for free, they're all going to run out and vote for Joe if he runs again. Because if he's not the president, then the gravy train stops. They might have to go get a job. They might have to do what actual people do every day. Get out of bed in the morning, get in your car and drive somewhere and do a job for 8, 10, 12 hours a day, whatever it may be. The only people voting for Biden are people who want everything handed to them. They do not want to lift a finger. We still see people all over the place wearing a piece of paper on their face when they know it doesn't work. We still see people catching the virus. We know the jabs don't work, and they're still pushing them. Every time you put on the television, there's a commercial. Get your updated jab. Get your updated jab. It's absolutely disgraceful that whoever is in control of this man wants to push him through to another 4 years, just like they brought him in for the first 4. I'd love to know who is making the decisions in that White House, because this guy can't decide what shoes go on the right foot. And that's as simple as that. He is not fit mentally to be the commander-in-chief of the United States military, because he's dangerous, he's forgetful, and the things that he's doing now with this Ukraine money grab He's leading our country into World War III. We all know it. He's a dangerous old fool, and he needs to be done in 2 years and not remain in the White House. Because if he does, if it doesn't happen before then, our country's going to get into a war with China, with Russia, and whoever else gets involved. Because that's what this guy wants. He's draining our funds. He's draining our military power by giving it to Vlad. And it's just wrong. This man is not competent. End of story. And Jill Biden only wants it for the camera coverage, the magazine covers, and the ugly dresses that she continues to wear. It's absolutely absurd that people believe that this guy is actually doing something good for the United States when all he is doing is making our country the weakest country in the world when we used to be the most powerful country in the world. And that's it. And Joe Biden is an absolute failure, and he will always be a failure. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't liked this video, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and hit the notification bell. Share this video with someone. I'd appreciate that. Hope you're all healthy and safe, and I'll see you soon.